stop limestone quarrying in the Nowergup Valley, full stop. A Labor government will work with this community to establish a regional park and protect this precious area for posterity. And a Labor government will work with you and the landholders, which is primarily the government itself, to establish the dual use path to the community that we can see being established so close to us here, so that they can come and enjoy this area and the people of the valley can cycle to the beach. We'll give you that commitment. And finally, we also, which is not directly but tangentially related to this issue, we will put a realistic cap on the draw of groundwater from the Nowerup Main. I note that the Liberal government upped the take to 162 billion gigalitres last year and have now approved it to go just over 180. And we see the evidence of it in our area. We see what's happened to Loch McNess up in the Yanchep National Park. And I can remember as a child, as many of you can probably remember, there used to be rowboats on the lake. There used to be sort of like a little green oval, whereas when I was at law school, we used to come and play footy up there in social matches. But the whole place is drying up. It is critical. This area, the water under our environment here, is being sucked out to feed the whole of the metropolitan area. And there's got to be better water conservation, and we've got to say this is the cap on Nowerup. When I said to you, I have been with you on this campaign, as you know, since this group formed, since Sabine first came to my office and Mark and drew my attention to the issue here, when this area became part of what was Mindarie and now the Butler electorate. And so I have been here for the full distance. I can recall, as some of you may recall, that the last time we had a rally here, we had all of the politicians up here in unison to support the Nowergup Valley. Since that day, I have made 5 grievances in the Parliament to John Day, the Minister who controls this valley. I've made 5 speeches to which he has to respond. They're called grievance debates. And on not one occasion has he yielded. On not one occasion has he held out hope that he is going to change his mind. I have got no doubt that if Minister Day is still the planning minister after the election, I'm going to have to fight twice as hard in Parliament. And there's still some things up our sleeve because the environmental approval for the first block has run out. We're starting the campaign to make sure the EPA doesn't renew the approval. So with that, I have emailed a copy of a letter signed by myself and Mark McGowan in writing, and I'm here to publicly commit to what's in this letter so that you know in writing and from my public commitment to you this morning that these things I will campaign for within the Parliament if we're in opposition and see through if we get into government. And sort of like formally I hand that letter over to the Nowerup group now. So I was a little bit late because we had a press conference concerning a big announcement today on reform of the justice system, where we're going to have a justice commission, a judicial commission, where people can write in with any complaints they've got about the way the judges are behaving and have them properly adjudicated, and a sentencing council where judges and members of the public will sit on the council to advise the judges on what appropriate sentencing is in any particular category of offences like domestic violence. So I had to do that this morning, and I've got another function after this that I've got to go to, so if I'm not here for long, it's not a lack of interest. I know that you know that I've been here for 4 years, 5 years. So I'm seeking your support on the 9th to continue this fight to save Lake Nowergup and the Nowergup Valley. Thank you very much for having me. Before I leave the podium, however, I would like to acknowledge the Greens as my only political ally in the Parliament to save this valley. And for all the passing words that other politicians have spoken, they are just passing words. The Greens have been the only staunch supporters of the campaign we've been on. Thank you.